All right. Hopefully everyone can hear me. If you are listening in, if you would just let me know if the mic is working. Not going with a webcam today, just because I don't really feel like making sure I look okay. And our main concern is making sure that we know about the weather coming in and all the information and whatnot. So we'll worry about a camera later. All right. So I think the mic is working, so we're gonna go ahead and start. Just want to preface by saying I am not a professional meteorologist. I just really enjoy tracking the weather and making sure everyone knows what's going on. And so I thought I'd go ahead and decide to do this just to let you know about all the stuff that's coming in our area over the next few hours, as well as just some good general information on how to read the radar and what is going on. So right now it's about 6:32, and if you are in the Springfield-Nixa area, you are already starting to hear some rumbles happening outside. If we take a look a little closer at what's going on, we actually might be having a couple of storms possibly combine over around Nixa. So let me look here. By the way, I'm using an application called Weatherwise. It's a completely free downloadable app. It also, you can get it on your browser like I'm using. There is a paid version. You do not have to use it at all, but it has so far been a really, really good app. It's very easy to understand. It can be as complicated or as simple as you want it to be. Anyway, so looking at, I'm trying to find my tools here. Maybe it's over here. Hey, yep, here we go. All right, so when we let the map go for the next few hours, we can see that everything is moving into a northeastern way. And one of the first things that we're going to be looking at is, let me pause this here, is this little area right here. This is what is giving us our warning right now that is over the Nixa, Branson, Reed Spring, Cassville area. So as of right now, National Weather Service has given us this thunderstorm warning. It's going to go for about 2 hours, actually. So it's going to be going for a while, and that's not just anticipating this storm, but all the other stuff that's going to come through and the stuff that may happen. You notice today it was really, really muggy outside. Storms need two things to get going. They need heat and they need moisture. And so when you get a hot, muggy day, especially if the sun decides to come out, it just creates a really, really unstable atmosphere and causes those storms to really pop up, which is what we're dealing with today. Actually, right now, if we look down in Oklahoma, there's a ton of stuff going down, including some tornadoes. I think last I looked at some of the professionals that I watch, there were 2 tornadoes on the ground last time I checked. Over in Oklahoma. Again, just because they're down in Oklahoma doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to last all the way to us, but it does mean that their atmosphere is unstable as well. Now we know here in the Ozarks, we like to really rely on that plateau. Some truth to it, but again, last I checked, the CAPE values were over 5,000. CAPE, it is an acronym. I can't think of what it stands for off the top of my head, but essentially it is how meteorologists measure how unstable the atmosphere is. Like, I think a normal CAPE is usually maybe around 1,000, 1,500. You start getting up to 3,000. It's when it starts getting, you get your rockier storms, your more dangerous storms. Us being around 5,000, it's getting pretty intense. CAPE, the higher the CAPE, the more I guess you could say, storm juice there is in the air. There's more fuel to fuel severe weather, fuel tornadoes, right? If we actually look again at the outlooks, so the National Weather Service a lot of times will put out these different outlooks. Might look familiar, right? So maybe that you remember seeing something like that. These outlooks, again, meteorology is not a perfect science. That's why it's called weather predictions. But each of these outlooks will give you an idea of maybe what to expect, what meteorologists are thinking is going to happen. So obviously, we've got up in here, we've got a 10% tornado risk, which is relatively high. And then when you see the hatched areas in an outlook, it just means it's a little more specific. There's a greater chance of what's happening. So this is what the tornado outlook looked like today. But also we have to look at wind. This is also the high wind outlook. And as you can see, everything's going on in our little neck of the woods here in southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas as well. There's a 45% chance of there being some pretty strong winds today. I'm trying to see if that information, with these outlooks, they'll put out discussions as well. It's a ton of information. If you're not a weather nerd, it's more information than you need, but it does give you a good idea of what may be happening. Again, all modes of severe weather are possible, including tornadoes, could be particularly strong, intense, very large hail, severe winds. And actually, in some of these storms that have been going through Oklahoma today, at one point, one storm I think was producing DVD-sized hail, which is just crazy when you think about it. But again, just because it's happening in Oklahoma doesn't mean it's necessarily going to happen here. A lot of stuff can happen between there and here. Kansas has also been dealing with its fair share of pretty intense weather today. A lot of that stuff is actually going through Kansas City right now. So if you happen to be watching from KC, you're probably getting rocked pretty well right now. They had a lot of stuff go through probably about a couple of hours ago. More stuff is on the way as well. But let's look in here. If you see little blips of people, these are actually storm chasers. It's a pretty cool feature in the WeatherWise app is that there's a network of storm chasers that work with it, that you can actually get their live stream and whatnot. And then, by the way, the person that I like to watch a lot, his name is Ryan Hall. He's on YouTube. He's actually live right now. Does a fantastic job of doing what I'm doing, but far more knowledgeable than I am. I just wanted to pop up here to give a more local look at what's happening. So right now, again, if we're looking, Springfield, we're probably dealing with a little rain. Nixa, we've got a little heavier rain right there. But a majority of the heavy storms is actually happening a little further south of Springfield. So looking at Highlandville, Hurley, Crane, Aurora. And these storms are actually moving at a pretty good rate. Again, this is, let me look real quick, let it set back up. This is a scan of just, I think, the last 20 minutes. So, I mean, the radar, I believe it gives us a new scan every 1 to 2 minutes, which the radar for here is up by the airport in Springfield. So, I mean, again, just for 20 minutes, these storms are booking it out here. So I would say here in Springfield, just given how fast that's going, we'll probably get a lot of this stuff right here, probably in the next, if I had to guess, about 30 minutes or so. As of right now, again, looks like National Weather Service just popped up a new not a tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning for us here in Springfield as well. The little polygon area popped up here. And again, this is more than likely anticipating this stuff. There we go. Anticipating this stuff right over here. Again, that's going to be moving in our direction in the northeast. But yeah, as of, let me get that off the page here. But yeah, as of right now, in my non-professional amateur opinion, not seeing anything super concerning. Just mainly some really strong storms coming through. Again, with those storms, we're going to have a threat of wind. Again, that's how these storms move is wind. So even though we are not under a tornado warning, we still want to take it serious because it's definitely packing some strong gusts in there. Actually, let's take a look at the one that the Springfield Weather Service just put out. So it looks like with this storm right now, maybe some wind 60 miles per hour on the high end. Looks like we also have some hail that may be associated with it as well. Again, less than an inch. But I mean, hail is hail. So we just need to be prepared for that type of stuff as well. So let's talk a little bit about maybe some radar education or maybe some stuff that comes out. So sometimes, and hopefully we don't see any of it tonight, but sometimes when the Weather Service puts out different types of warnings and whatnot. So like right now, we've got just your standard severe thunderstorm warning. You've got your regular tornado watch and whatnot. Sometimes they will upgrade it to like a considerable. Sometimes they will even upgrade severe thunderstorm tornado to something called a PDS tornado warning. PDS stands for particularly dangerous situation. Earlier in Oklahoma, there were a few of those that were issued. It happens, and again, not that we don't take every warning seriously, but those are definitely the ones that we need to watch out for. Typically, if a PDS warning is issued, usually for tornado, it will like weather spotters, Storm Prediction Center. People have actually confirmed that there is a tornado on the ground. So again, not that we don't need to take every warning seriously, but if we're ever under something called a PDS warning, we definitely need to be watching out. Weather Service came out with these new type of warnings within the last 10 years, maybe within the last 5 years or so, just to, again, give us a bit better understanding of the severity of what's coming. And again, it's all about being prepared, not being scared, and again, knowing our safe place, knowing everything. So let's take a look real quick at the velocity. So the velocity, when we change to the velocity filter on a radar, it basically tells us what direction wind is going. It's a really good way of trying to figure out via radar, do we have a tornado on the ground? Do we know, is there starting to be circulation? If there's red means that the wind is actually going away from the radar. So here's our radar. We see everything over here, red, right? If it's green means that the wind is going towards the radar. So red means going away. Green means it's coming towards the radar. So right now, everything for the most part looks like, at least in our area, looks like it's going in the correct direction that it needs to be. There's nothing going the opposite way. Nothing right now, meaning, nothing to be super concerned about, at least what I'm seeing right now. Another way that we can check to make sure that that everything's going the way it's supposed to is actually looking at something called the correlation coefficient. Typically, this is a type of radar that will let us know if there are things in the atmosphere that isn't just water, or things in the atmosphere that should not be there. So, for instance, looking at all this different stuff right here. If I am correct, and I could be wrong, but if I'm correct, this is actually should be hail that we're actually dealing with. So little pockets of hail. And again, if we look at our warnings, it's radar indicated that there's hail in this warning, right? Inch hail. We look at this new one that just popped up, less than 75th of an inch hail, right? So all these little bright blue pockets, they're hail. Now, when you're looking, when you know that there's a tornado on the ground, one way that you can see it is actually the darker the blue typically means that there is debris in the atmosphere that's being picked up on the radar. Could be tree branches, could be shingles, could be trash. But typically, if you see dark blue, different shades of dark blue, it's usually a good indicator that there's debris in the air, there's something in the air that's not supposed to be there. Trying to look and see if there's anything. So one thing to note is that one radar doesn't just cover the whole country, right? So if you want to switch and get a better outlook at something, you got to switch radars, right? So let's go over to this one. This one's a little closer to the border. So see, they're dealing with all sorts of stuff here in Broken Arrow, which makes sense because we look back at our reflectivity, just came through a huge line of storms. If you are watching in the northwest Arkansas area, Fayetteville, for instance, let's see, Cave Springs, Rogers for sure, Bella Vista, Bentonville, you just got through some pretty heavy stuff. More on the way, unfortunately. So if we start back up kind of our look at what's happening, like we've got this area over here. We've got a couple chasers over there. It's a good indicator that some heavy stuff is coming, right? Again, right now, I'm not in our area at least seeing anything that I'm super concerned about. But yeah, as of right now, not super worried. Again, it's going to get loud. Again, we're under those thunderstorm warnings, so we need to be aware of that high wind threat. We need to be aware of that hail threat that's going to come through. But yeah, as of right now, again, for the Springfield metro area, Republic, Fairgrove, Walnut Grove, we've got about 42 minutes left on that severe thunderstorm warning. And then us, Nixa, Highlandville, Clever, Billings, Highlandville, we've got about 26 minutes left on that severe thunderstorm warning. As far as our tornado watch goes, I actually do not have the tornado watch filter activated on here. I can go ahead and turn it on real quick, though. Hold on. Oh, no, it is on. Never mind. Excuse me. So as far as our tornado watch goes, most of the area, if you're watching me right now, we are under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock at least. We've got about 2 more hours on that. Again, watches and warnings. If there's a watch, means conditions are favorable for that type of mode of weather to happen. So a severe thunderstorm watch means, hey, the atmosphere is primed. It's not stable, like good chance it could happen. Tornado watch doesn't mean a tornado is 100% going to happen. It means, hey, keep a lookout for it. Atmosphere, again, it's primed. It's ready to go. All the ingredients are there. It's just, will it actually happen? Warnings are more serious. It means, hey, everything is coming together. For severe thunderstorm warning, it means, hey, this thing is actually producing hail. It's producing some straight line winds. Like, we need to be thinking about our safe spots. We need to be active in doing what we need to do to make sure we're safe and people around us are safe. Tornado warning, typically tornado warnings, again, those are issued when, again, the atmosphere is right. Could be radar indicated. If it's a radar indicated tornado warning, it means a radar has not been physically spotted, but if we're looking at, again, that velocity filter on the map, it's looking like there is either a tornado on the ground somewhere or there's some spinning happening in the clouds. Again, and then you can have radar, you can have physically witness tornadoes, right? From either weather spotters, from storm chasers, from the weather service, from police, or any type of emergency service can call it in and actually have a spotted tornado. And again, that's why it's important that when those warnings come out, we actually look into the warning to see what it is. Again, we need to take every warning seriously, but obviously it can, there's a difference between, just a warning and then like an actual like indicated warning, right? And then again, we've got those PDS warnings that we definitely need to be aware of. And the rare chance we could have like a tornado emergency, only happened. Actually, I don't ever think I've seen one happen here, knock on wood. But they do happen, and those are like the top of the scale that you can get. They're a pretty bad deal. So looking at this last scan again, if it kind of looks like the weather is like following, let me get this out of the way. If it looks like when we're looking at the radar, it's like everything kind of looks like it's like kind of on this globe area, right? Well, again, it's how radar works. Radar scans in a circle, right? And so as we get further out from the radar, everything, it follows that trend. Again, the reason that your local news has the full map and doesn't look like that is because I got access to all the radars and different stuff like that. But for us, that's why it looks like that. And again, the closer we get to the radar, we get these radar holes sometimes. Again, we get super close to the radar. Right down here, you got the airport. Not a lot of great information because it's right at the base, right? And then when I talk about a radar hole, sometimes there are areas that go far and few between radars. So we've got our Springfield radar right here. We've got a radar up here in Kansas. And then we've got a radar up here in St. Louis, right? So that means right up in here, there's a little overlap, and there might be some slight radar holes there because there's just not radar there, right? Really exciting to see as satellites get more effective, like what that is going to do for radar, which is super cool. But yeah, as of right now, here in Springfield, we're getting ready for this big band of storms to blow on through. I don't know if you can hear the thunder in the background. It's definitely up there. But in between the last few scans, again, not seeing anything crazy popping up or anything like that. But yeah, I'm gonna take a look at the chat real quick and see if anyone has asked any questions or anything like that. So give me 1 second. Let me take a look. I'll leave the radar up and going so you guys can see that. Nope, nothing yet. I guess that's good. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, again, feel free to leave it in the YouTube chat or on the Facebook stream as well. I'll answer questions as best as I can. Again, just an amateur, like it as a hobby, not a professional by any means, but just happy to pass on the information as I see it. Oh, I can hear the rain just started outside. Let's go over here and look at Oklahoma. See what is happening over here. Oh yeah, there is a ton going on over here. But we'll go back and center on Springfield. Hey, someone said it's working. Awesome, glad. I put this together really, really quick with some streaming software, and I'm glad it's working. That's awesome. Maybe in the future we can get a webcam hooked up so you know when I'm actually still live, but just not talking, so I don't have to fill every moment talking. But again, for you guys in Highlandville, Reed Spring, Galena, Hurley, you guys got about 18 minutes left on your severe thunderstorm warning. Us here in Springfield, it's really only just about starting, but we're still looking at about 33 minutes on our severe thunderstorm warning. And then again, tornado watch, unless the Weather Service extends it, will be done at 9 o'clock. But yeah, still as of right now, just looking at some real heavy rain. Let's look back at our velocity. Yeah, again, we've got some really strong wind over here about to blow through Republic. Yeah, everything's still looking pretty okay. Nothing super concerning from what I see. Here in Springfield, again, we may deal with some hail and whatnot. Republic, it looks like you're probably about to get some hail as well. Let's see what other tools we got on here. We'll turn that off. One other cool feature I really like is that you have the ability to use the storm tracks, which gives you a good idea. Let me turn it back on. Reflectivity. Reflectivity is the one that you're used to seeing when you pull up radar, which again, reflectivity is literally reflecting things in the atmosphere. So that's why the darker it gets, the heavier the rain, right? It's reflecting that literally. And again, just another example of radar, right? So we've got this kind of curl in here, right? The radar is right there, which makes sense. So if we look at this same storm from over here, again, it looks kind of weird because we're further and further away from that radar, but we can see that from over there, we're actually like going through the storm right now versus here in Springfield, it's still kind of looping around us. So radar, it's a wonderful tool, but you got to understand how it works, and why you need to sometimes look at different radars. You can also look, so you see tilt over here, that will actually allow you to look higher in the atmosphere, lower to the ground, right? So I usually like to keep mine at about a 0.5% or a 0.5 degree tilt. It's just a good in between. It's what the meteorologist that I like to follow, it's usually what they keep it at as well. But again, we can go all the way up into the atmosphere and see that we've got a lot of rain up there still and whatnot. And again, the higher we go, the more contorted the atmosphere, or I'm sorry, the radar gets, because again, we're looking at those beams that are going higher. So again, 0.5 is usually, you can leave it there and you're usually okay at that point. So yeah, right now everything is still looking pretty okay. Overnight, things should taper off around 9 o'clock. Again, that's why the National Weather Service, I think, left the tornado watch till 9. We should have a bit of a cold front come through after that. But after 9 o'clock, maybe, I believe, some like pop-up storms, but I mean, other than that, right now we're kind of between now and about 8:30. We're probably in the height of things going on. Let's look at what's going on down here. Okay, so hey, here's a good example that we can try to look at. So let's go to the radar in Fort Smith. So right now, over here, we have a radar indicated tornado warning. Just, again, in case someone just popped up, this is in Fort Smith, Arkansas. This is not in Springfield. So we are just utilizing radar and playing with some of the tools, learning how to actually look at it. So when looking for signs of a tornado or what could possibly happen, you want to look for this thing called a hook echo. Typically, a hook echo is where warm air is being sucked into the storm and being circulated from. So an example of a hook, we've probably got one right around here. So see how it kind of hooks. If we turn to our, here's a wonderful example. If we look at our reflectivity, so again, remember, green air is coming towards the radar, red air is going away, or red is going away from the radar. So the radar we have selected is, where'd it go? Oh, the Fort Smith radar, okay? So see how right here it's getting kind of weird, right? So that's one way that you can actually see the beginnings of rotation. Now, this whole huge thing more than likely is not going to be a giant rotation, but that's why we've got two warnings right here, warning both of these individual places. So we look at our coefficient correlation, which again lets us know things that should be in the atmosphere, things that shouldn't be. Not really anything in there yet, but again, more than likely they're saying radar indicated because we have got stuff going on. Now, one concerning thing that I can see is right here near Stillwell. So that's still in Oklahoma, I think, is this area right here. So this bit of area right here, we've got a little green in there. We've got a lot of red, so it's starting to look like some rotation right there. So it's one good way to, to keep an eye on, see what's going on. That's, again, more than likely why the Weather Service issued those tornado warnings right there. But again, this is just a really good example of, looking at things. I would say, no, I'm not going to say that. Actually, this is just like the storm blowing through. So yeah, different things to look for. If we look at reflectivity here, we have this thing right here. That is an example of something that's called a bow echo. Where is it? So it forms a bow, like a bow and arrow, right? Oh, wow. Oh. Anyway, a bow echo. So I just heard a big storm right there. So now let's switch to here. All right. So we've got our bow right here. That indicates like a lot of wind is coming through. So again, if you've ever noticed, when you are staying outside and a storm's coming through, usually you get a big gust of wind and then it brings the rain and whatnot. Again, it's kind of the beginning of the storms, how storms move, wind, and they're producing wind. When we can see it on a radar like that, it produces a bow echo, usually means some pretty substantial wind. So again, we're looking here, radar indicated 70 mile per hour wind coming through. Whew, I don't know if anyone heard that storm. It is really picking up out there. Let me look at something real quick. So one thing that's pretty cool to see is to pull up traffic cameras, just to give you an idea of what is going on outside. It's a safe way to stay outside. Or I'm sorry, it's a safe way to stay inside, but also look at what is going on in your area. So let's go to the traffic camera that is right here. So this is where a lot of the heaviest stuff is coming through. This is that Nixa Springfield border. And again, we pull that up to full screen. We can see there's a lot of lightning going on. Wind. Definitely blowing those trees out there. But again, great, just a great way to kind of keep track of what's going on. Thankfully, not a lot of people out. Traffic's going pretty slow. So it is more than likely raining a lot, which I would have to agree. If we look a little more, let's look back at our radar and see what's going on. Yep, we're definitely hearing it right now. And if we look at our trajectory, these lines, everything's moving up to the northwest. So we're gonna kind of be in it for a little while, right? Let's see if there's something a little more in Springfield. let's look up here. This is the traffic camera that's at the Walmart on Campbell. That's the Qdoba right there. You can see there's a lot of rain coming down just by those cars. So yeah, it is pouring. That's for sure. I can even hear my rain gutters over